Lake City. I am the DHF liaison and personal trainer out here. Today we're going to do a Fit in 15 core workout in the truck, okay? So this is going to be a 15-minute workout. What we're going to do is we're going to go 3 rounds of 4 movements with a 1-minute rest in between each round. So it's 1 minute per movement as well, so I didn't mention that. So the movements today are going to be mountain climbers, leg raises, Russian twists, and a FDBE, which stands for face down back extension. Okay, that one might be a little weird, so I'll show some variations on that one in case it's a little too hard for some people. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you the mountain climbers. So I'm going to turn my back to the camera because what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of put my hands on the edge of my bed, just like this. Okay, I'm going to show it with my back now. And then I'm going to bring my knees up to generally like my elbows. So you're going to be kind of in this like push-up position off the bed, and you're going to bring your knees up just like this. So I'll see if we can angle this down a little bit so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Let's get right there. Okay, so you're going to be right here off of the bed, and then I'm just going to kind of bring my knees up towards my elbows. I know it's a little bit hard to see that. I apologize. It's disadvantages of trying to film this all in a truck. So we're gonna go 1 minute high knees, and then we're gonna do 1 minute of leg raises. So we'll be on our beds right here. Okay, you can kind of sit on your hands. You're just gonna pick those legs up like this. If you need to, you can just kind of bend the legs and get right here, but try to keep them as straight as possible. We're gonna do that. And then we're gonna go Russian twists. So we'll do these off the bed right here. So we'll kind of do it in this like half-seated position. So it's right here, you're gonna touch on each side, just like this. Okay, 1 minute of those. And then 1 minute of face down back extensions. So this one can be a little bit strange. What you're gonna do is you're gonna lay face down, okay? It's especially hard with like a soft bed. It usually works better with the hard ground. But you're gonna be right here, and you're just gonna kind of pick that chest up off the ground as much as you can. It looks kind of like you're a flailing dolphin out of water, I know. So if you feel a little strange doing it, or you don't feel anything out of that, you can change it into like a good morning. So you'll do this in between your seats, but you'll be right here, push those hips back, hinge at the waist, and good, and up, okay? Just like that. I'm actually probably I'm gonna show both. I'll start out with the face down back extension for round 2. I'll start out doing the good mornings so that you can see the form for both. And then round 3, I'll do the face down back extensions again. So once again, 3 rounds, 1 minute of all those movements. I'll remind you of the movements as we're getting closer to them. And then a 1 minute rest in between, okay? So let me get a timer going, and we'll get this thing kicked off. We're gonna be starting with the mountain climber, so I'm gonna start with my back to you, okay? Here we go. We'll start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go with those mountain climbers. So the whole purpose of this is a nice and steady pace, guys. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can also do this one in a push-up position on your bed if you wanted to, instead of off the bed. About halfway. About 10 seconds. 2, 1. Go into those leg raises now. So just lay on your bed, keeping those legs as straight as possible. Nice and steady. If you need to rest on this one, just plop the legs down, that's it. A couple of breaths and try to get yourself back into it. Again, if you need it to be a little bit easier, just kind of bend the legs, just like this. reduce that range of motion. That'll make it a little bit easier. We're over halfway through this one. Couple seconds, and Russian twists. So we're gonna go off the bed on this one, kind of a little half sit-up. If you need to kind of use your feet to hook into the end of the bed, that's fine. And we're just gonna go each side, kind of touching the bed on each side. Kind of concentrating on using your core to turn you left and right, and less of like just moving your hands, okay? So it should be you kind of looking and turning and looking over that shoulder as you touch each side. Halfway through this one. Got about 15 seconds left. And go ahead and switch to those face down back extensions. Okay, feet stay down on this one, by the way, guys. So your feet should be up, they should be down, planted. Just lifting that back up as high as you can. It's not a lot of movement, as you can see by me. It's very small, the movement. And you can even kind of push your hands down and assist yourself with kind of squeezing and pulling yourself up if you want. So the key is you're going to kind of use the butt and the lower back to pull your chest up as much as you can. Well over halfway, guys. Ten seconds. And rest. Alright guys, for the stretch today, we're going to do something really similar to that back extension. You're going to put your hands underneath your shoulders like you would get ready for a push-up, and you're going to push your chest up while keeping your hips down. This is called a Cobra Stretch. You should feel a big stretch in like the lower abdomen, hip flexor area. If this hurts your back, then go ahead and just switch to a hip flexor stretch. So a hip flexor stretch will be kind of in a nice kneeling lunge position. Okay, I'm gonna stay nice and tall. I can't really see my legs right now. Actually, let me angle this down so you can see my legs. So you'll be in this good little lunge position right here, nice and tall, and then just kind of squeeze your butt cheeks together. You should feel a big stretch right in this hip flexor area, okay, right there on the down leg. So then you'll just do that for about 30 seconds each side. All right, guys, we're gonna get back into these mountain climbers. So back into the mountain climbers, here we go. Nice and steady. Try to bring those knees up as close to the elbows as you can. You're about halfway. Ten seconds left on this one, guys. Alright, then we're going to move into those leg raises again. Again, if you need it to be easier, keep the knees bent and just bring those knees up high once the feet touch the ground. you'll be done at the rep. Okay, just like that. So that's the easier version right here. And then there's all kinds of in between. You can kind of slowly gauge the legs out farther and farther as you get stronger until you're at locked legs. Got about 10 seconds. All right, and then into these Russian twists. Kind of in that half sit-up position, turning, looking over the shoulder. Nice and steady pace on these. Shouldn't be whipping back and forth. Anything that's kind of turning the trunk area you want to be careful with. So if you need to go really slow and deliberate to make sure you stay safe, that's okay. Over halfway. Got about 10 seconds before we go back into the face down back extensions. On this one, I'm going to show those good mornings. So some of the people who want to do that one instead can see that one. Okay. So face down back extensions are the good morning. So I usually kind of put my hands right on my stomach, kind of push my hips back, keeping those legs like not locked out, but you're not trying to bend them either. Just think of like soft knees, okay? Soft knees. Shifting those hips towards the wall behind you. Keeping a good big chest as well, guys. That'll keep your back nice and flat. Over halfway on this one. About 10 seconds, then we're going to get back into our rest, into that Cobra Stretch or the hip flexor, whatever you choose to do, and rest. So Cobra Stretch, kind of keeping those hips pinned down, pushing that chest up. If you want to get it a little bit deeper, you can always look towards the ceiling of your cab. To rest, just kind of drop down for a few seconds and then just push back up again. We got one more round of this one, guys. One more round and then we'll be done. And if you feel like you need to rest, just drop down for a few. And then right back up into it. All right, we're gonna start back into this last round. Going back into our mountain climbers, guys. Here we go. About halfway through. Ten seconds. Into these leg raises. Remember to keep those legs as straight as possible. But if you need that bit of change, this is where you'll live right here, okay? Bend those knees, Bring those knees up high towards the chest. And once the feet touch the ground, you're good. Well over halfway, guys. All right, into these Russian twists. So last round for the Russian twists. Kind of in that half sit-up position, looking over each shoulder as you turn and touch the bed. About halfway through this one. Nice and steady, guys. Making sure that you're looking over that shoulder and not just kind of moving the hands, okay? You want to be turning that torso. Another way to think about it is kind of turning your chest towards either wall. In 2, 1, face down back extensions or those good mornings. I'm going to finish with the back extensions. So I'm going to kind of use my hands to help. Okay, just kind of flexing the lower back and butt to pull, and then I'll use my hands to help a little bit, just because it's a little bit hard with the soft surface. Over halfway on this one. We're almost done for the day, guys. All right, and rest. All right, we're gonna get one more Cobra stretching or that hip flexor stretch, whatever you choose. We'll hold this one just for a little bit and then I'll slide off here. Those hips pinned to the bed. You can always look up to get it a little bit deeper. If this hurts your back, go to that lower back, or the hip flexor stretch instead. That won't be hard on the back. A couple of big deep breaths. All right, and we'll call it a day. All right, guys. Once again, Matt Judy out of Salt Lake. That was a core workout in truck.